Programming a lathe with one spindle means that the part must be machined one side at a time. CAMWorks makes it easy to program each side in one part file. There are two ways to do this, one that requires a manual process and one that uses automation. We'll be reviewing the pros and cons of both approaches in this 2-minute tech tip. The first approach for single spindle programming is the legacy way, in which the programmer adds a second turn setup to define the features and operations for the second side. This allows stock information to be shared from one side to the other. The drawback of this method is that the code for each side is present in the operations tree, meaning the programmer needs to make sure they do not post the code for both sides together. The second way is to program using CAM configurations. You'll note in the left menu there is only one turn setup. This allows the programmer to use the automation within CAMWorks to focus only on machining the one side. If there's a revision to the design, the operations for this side will automatically update. This also eliminates confusion on which side is being posted. Using the CAMWorks Configuration Manager, the programmer can add a configuration where the work offset is defined with the positive Z on the other end of the part. With this definition, the programmer can rely again on the automation to program only this side of the part. Whereas in the legacy method, the features of side 2 need to be manually defined. Again, this approach automatically responds to revision changes and simplifies the posting of the code. The disadvantage this method has over the legacy method is that the configuration method starts from a default stock, even though operations were applied to the part from side 1. This means that the code may machine material that is no longer present, reducing machining efficiency. There is an option to define stock to inform the operations as to the material status, which will prevent this issue, but this is an extra step that is not required by the legacy method. One method is not necessarily superior to the other. The choice of which to use is based on what information is to be captured within the file. If the status of the stock material from one side to the other is crucial, then the legacy method should be used. If the response to a design change is important, then the configuration method should be used to streamline the process. To learn more about the turning module inside of CAMWorks, consider taking a look at our courses on CAMWorks Turning, which covers all the functions and toolpaths for programming of your lathe parts. Thanks for watching.